Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. So, tonight we're going to explore stress and what it really does on your body. So, how calming the mind heals the body, and how it's going to impact your hormones, your digestion, your sleep, and even the ability to burn fat. And most importantly, what you can do about it. So, we'll use both science and simple daily habits from your stress management toolbook to help you feel calmer, more focused, and more balanced. And you can find that stress management toolbook in the link below. So be sure to grab it. How does that sound? All right, let's move on. So here we are tonight. We're going to talk about stress, how it affects your body, between your brain, your heart, your blood sugar, cortisol, and energy, digestion, and stress. Then we'll discuss our stress reset toolkit and create tools for the future and for maybe next week. And then I'll wrap up with a few questions. All right. So, what is stress really? So, stress isn't bad, it's your survival system. So, cortisol, your main stress hormone, helps you wake up, stay focused, and get things going. So, it's natural for it to completely increase in the morning because that's your get up and go hormone. So, we actually have good stress called eustress. I don't know if you've heard of it before. So, like a birthday party or something that excites you. So think of things that excite you. Like those are things like a promotion or, maybe a change in the weather excites you. Just so those are you stresses, good stressors. So when stress never turns off, though, from overwork, poor sleep, blood sugar swings, or emotional strain, cortisol stays high. That's when we start to feel tired, but wired, anxious, and inflamed. So, think of one situation in your life that makes you feel your body go into overdrive. Like, what's your body do? Like your heart races, or you can't relax even when you want to? Pay attention to what your body's telling you because this allows us to control the stressors in our lives because we want them to be short term. So, a little bit about me. I'm a board certified functional health practitioner. I help women who are burned out discover what's really going on in their bodies so they can finally feel like themselves again. So, a few years ago, I looked like I had it all together. I was a busy sports mom, professional, and perfectionist, but behind the scenes, I was running on fumes. The fatigue, the brain fog, the bloating, the inflammation was crazy. Restless nights, mood swings became my normal. It all became normal. So to cope, I leaned on caffeine during the day and wine in the evening, telling myself it was just how women get through midlife. But eventually my body crashed and I ended up in the hospital. So that was a huge wake up call for me. I discovered functional medicine and I realized my symptoms weren't random. They were my body's way of asking for help. By addressing my hormones, my gut, and stress patterns, I finally healed from the inside out. The brain fog lifted, my energy came back, and I slept soundly, and I no longer needed alcohol to cope. So today, through my balance method, I help those motivated midlife women, teachers, moms, professionals. That was me. I help them ditch the fatigue, the brain fog, the hormonal chaos, so that they can feel lighter, calmer, and unstoppable again. So if I can rebuild my health and reclaim my spark, you can too. So also, I want to be able to offer you my 3 habit stacks for sleep. It's included in that stress management tool for sure. So super great to have on hand. So I'm going to put the link in the description below. So catch it when you can. So when cortisol is high, your body thinks survival, not healing or hormone balance. Blood sugar rises, digestion slows, your brain shifts from rest and digest to fight or flight. So this can show up as PMS, fatigue, hot flashes, bloating, or poor sleep. Let's dive into the fascinating world of your HPA axis. So that's your hypothalamus, right up here in your brain, your pituitary, and then your adrenals down here on top of your kidneys. It's our body's central stress response system. So it's often referred to as the fight or flight system. You may have heard of that before, a time or 10. This remarkable response, it's super amazing, kicks off the brain with the hypothalamus. So it releases the hormone known as corticotropin releasing hormone, or CRH. This signals to the pituitary gland. And then the pituitary gland then signals ACTH, right here, down to the adrenals. And the adrenals then release cortisol right here, preparing your body to respond to stress. This huge little system that happens, this path. So it's a beautiful example of how interconnected our systems are. Remember, it's about balance, because too much activation can lead to issues, but in moderation and a little bit of stress, it's essential for survival. It allows us to, I'm sure you heard of the analogy, running from a tiger. It allows us to naturally do that, but it also, the tiger eventually is going to flee and our stress hormones will go down. And then, so have you ever noticed your digestion or sleep change when you're under more stress? Like if you had a huge life event, all of a sudden it's like you end up with these digestive issues or complaints that are just so uncomfortable. And if you haven't noticed that, like, pay attention to your body. Your body is definitely telling you things all throughout the day. Super important to be intuitive that way. So stress and the brain. So stress can deplete our feel-good neurotransmitters. So this is oftentimes when we don't feel good. We feel apathetic, or we just feel like there's not a lot of emotion and we're just tired. But if you stay suppressed for too long, your brain keeps making cortisol, and that can throw off your brain chemistry because your body is perceiving that it's just in survival mode, even if there is no physical threat. So it starts to lower your serotonin and your dopamine, the chemicals that help you feel happy, calm, and motivated. So when cortisol increases, serotonin and dopamine start to drop. Your blood sugar becomes dysregulated like a roller coaster, and your brain looks for a quick way to feel better. And that's why you might crave sugar, caffeine, or junk food. They give your brain a fast, feel-good hit. But the problem is these quick fixes don't last long. The best way to really feel better is by calming things like getting enough sleep, moving your body, deep breathing, getting that oxygen into your blood allows all of that the blood to come back to the central part of your body instead of your peripheral limbs, because when you're in fight or flight, that's what happens. You want to fight or flight, run. So, or splash your face if it's urgent. Oh my gosh, I got to go to the bathroom and splash my face. Hold an ice cube. This is also another immediate stress relief. Or doing something fun to help your brain make the best of it, happy chemicals that you have. So do something fun. Also, when you calm your stress and your heart, when we calm our central nervous system, we create a healthy heart. So when you're stressed, your heart beats faster and your blood pressure goes up. It's like your body's alarm system going on. But if you're staying stressed for too long, your blood vessels can get stiff, and that makes it harder for your heart to stay healthy. So here's the good news. Doing deep breathing, being mindful, or just taking a few quiet minutes can help calm your nervous system. Super important. So that helps your HRV, which is your heart rate variability. It helps it go up. So by it going up, it means it's healthy and strong and flexible and ready for anything. So one of my favorite stress markers is the heart rate variability. And some you can use on different wearable devices like a Oura Ring or a smartwatch. Those kind of things can tell you your heart rate variability, and practice and play around with it and get some feedback on it. Times of stress, it should be lower, and then as you're relaxed, it should increase. So the higher HRV, the more resilient your nervous system is. So even though just those 5 minutes of those deep diaphragmatic breathing where you have the belly out, breathe out, and then breathe in, can really lower your heart rate. It can calm your adrenals and help regulate cortisol naturally. So think of the last time you intentionally paused to take a few slow breaths, like really stopped what you're doing and just said, okay, I'm going to take a breath. It shifts your brain for sure. And so cortisol and blood sugar are best friends. So when one rises, so does the other. That's why you might feel shaky and irritable or hangry midday. Eating protein, fiber, and healthy fats keeps your blood sugar and your stress response in check. Super important. So this picture shows something called the blood sugar roller coaster, up and down, up and down. So what happens inside your body when you eat a lot of sugary foods or heavy carbs? And here's how it works. When you eat something sugary, your blood sugar shoots way up, boom, and that red line goes way up, right? So in just a quick burst of energy in a sugar high, feels so good. So then your blood sugar sends in insulin. So insulin's job is to move the blood sugar in from your blood into the cells so that your body can use it. Then it drops fast back down. Sometimes your blood sugar falls too low, even past the line after the insulin works. That's the crash. You might feel tired, grumpy, or super hungry again. So then you grab another snack. And to feel better, you eat something else sugary and the roller coaster begins again. So if this happens a lot, it can cause mood swings, tiredness, or even weight gain. So who's guilty of skipping lunch and living on caffeine during stressful days? So try to be mindful of that. You're not alone. I've been there too. I have to be really thoughtful about making sure I get my protein in and my fiber and my healthy fats just to maintain standard energy throughout the day. And then when you're in fight or flight mode, your body says, now's not the time to digest. So that's where digestion and stress comes into play. So stress shunts down digestion. That's why stress often triggers bloating, constipation, diarrhea, or IBS symptoms, irritable bowel syndrome. So simply taking 3 slow breaths before each meal, it really does activate that vagus nerve that runs down from our brain to our stomach and turns on our rest and digest phase and allows our body to do what it needs to do without being all tensed up and under stress. So these are the foundations for lowering cortisol, balancing blood sugar, and restoring neurotransmitters naturally. It's not about doing all the things. It's about doing them just with consistency. Even 1 or 2 daily habits can change your nervous system, especially over time. It's called neuroplasticity. And so it's like building a muscle. The more you practice that habit, the more it becomes ingrained. So important, just small steps, one thing at a time. So which one of these feels easiest to you to start with for right now? And which ones do you think you want to resist the most? So deep breathing, morning sunlight or walking outside, consistent meals for blood sugar balance, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, laughter, play, and connection daily. So focus on one that you can try right now. And then here's our self-care checklist to reduce stress. So again, we're going to aim for a goal, aim for one self-care activity each day. And then we're going to share our wins with your neighbor or your family, or and just create these amazing habits for yourself. So that'll also be included in that link below. And then remembering our why. So why we're doing this. So imagine waking up rested, powering through the day without caffeine, feeling calm and connected with your family, and actually enjoying hobbies again. This is what happens when you break free from all of the chaos that happens with stress. And so the next steps. So here's what I want to encourage you to do. If this is for you, I am offering a free Happy Hormone strategy call. So when I was struggling, I wish someone could have simply looked at me and explained what was off, given me a roadmap, tell exactly why and that's exactly why I created the Happy Hormone strategy call. So in this free session, we'll look at your symptoms, your health history, and hormone patterns so we can identify which trap is holding you hostage and map out your next best steps. That's exactly why I created the Happy Hormone strategy. In this free session, we'll look at your symptoms, health history, and hormonal patterns so you can identify which trap is holding you hostage and which one is, and map out your next best steps. You have 2 choices. You can either keep struggling on your own and hoping your body figures it out, or you can get clarity, connection, and a personalized hormone roadmap for free. So I'll pop in my calendar link in the comments as well. So click the button below and let's schedule it. I only offer 5 spots per week because I want to give my undivided attention very thoroughly to each each call and each client that I have. So grab yours while it's open. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.